The first slap-up design for the VLVK club, they wanted a picture of a VK and a VL, and I had an idea in my head. That's kind of where the slap-up cars were born. I reckon I've probably done at least 50. Borgie at Might Die Productions, MDP. He's been looking after us with all the garments that we've ever done. So he's the man to go to if you want any screen printing, that's for sure. When I did the actual custom car slap-up logo design, like I wanted it to be something that people would be happy to wear on a shirt or stick a sticker on their car. Jimmy actually approached us from Fatal Finish and told me about this dude that he's seen steering down a wind, and just said that this kid, he just had the best attitude and, you know, one of the best drivers there of the weekend. So Jimmy approached Ned and talked about a sponsorship. We did a wrap on Ned's car itself. We had a few hiccups on that weekend, one being a wall, the other being a fire, but the boys have been building this car and it's going to come back stronger and it's going to kick some ass, I reckon. I've only ever been to Springnats as a spectator, so I'm pretty keen this year to be involved. From a spectator's perspective, the halls, like, you know, you've got killer cars in the hall. You've got the burnout pad, you've got plenty of shaded area, plenty of trade stands, and, you know, over the night time they've got bands and, you know, family friendly environment as well. So yeah, it's a ripper event, so keen as to get there this year and bang some tyres off. At the moment, like, I run a sign business primarily, and slap-ups, it was more of a hobby and something to do of an evening just to fill in the time. And then it started growing slowly, and then next minute it just took off, you know, like I was getting inquiries left, right and centre. And for now, I think I'll just keep pumping out the designs, try and get a lot more merch and trying to get to a lot more shows to sell the merch. So yeah, well, the Riverina Thrashers, they're a group of mates primarily from Wagga and Junee. Guys from the Riverina Thrashers were probably the reason that I built my car as well. You know, I always had the ambition to build a car. It wasn't until I sort of got to that time where I went to PCM and thought I just didn't want to go back as a spectator. And yeah, like it's a privilege to be a part of it and amongst it with the guys. So the car itself, it's a Holden Commodore VL wagon. Like, in all honesty, it was just the cheapest car I could find. I went to PCM in 2014, and on the way home I spoke about, you know, building my own car, so I stayed up all night on Facebook looking at the buy swap pages. I jumped on the Facebook and there was this dirty old black VL wagon. I picked up the car trailer, went and bought it back home, and that's where it all began. And as soon as we had the front end on and got the engine in and stood back and had a look at it, I was chuffed with it because I love the long roofs, love wagons. Yeah, she ticked all the boxes in the end. Number plates are Let 'em Hate. The engine, it's just an LS. It's just a mild build. The old man built it in the shed. Ingram's from Wagga did all the work on it, all the prep, all the machine work. Like, if it wasn't for the old man, like, I'd still be in the shed now trying to figure out how to do it all. So I've never really been involved mechanically with cars. I've always driven them and just flogged the guts out of them, but never really had an understanding of how they work. So building the car was, yeah, an awesome opportunity to learn that. Not only, you know, learning how to build the car, but hanging out with Dad was a good time as well. You know, every time we go out to an event and do a burnout, he comes to every event and loves it just as much as I do. So hopefully we can chuck him in the seat and let him bang some tyres off and show us how he reckons it's done.